Daniel Mercer hadn't slept properly in 3 days. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw the elevator doors. He saw the twisted metal. He saw the flashing emergency lights reflected in terrified faces. Most of all, he saw the message that had started everything. A message that should never have existed. A message sent from his own phone number. 6 simple words that had saved his life. Don't go to work tomorrow. At first, Daniel had assumed it was some kind of prank. Maybe a glitch. Maybe a friend with too much time on their hands. But there was no logical explanation anymore. 3 people had died in the elevator accident. 3 people who had arrived at work on time. Daniel had survived because he had been late. 5 minutes late. 5 minutes that separated him from the dead. 5 minutes that existed only because he had received an impossible warning from himself. Since then, nothing in his life had felt real. Every explanation he came up with collapsed beneath the weight of the facts. Someone knew the future. Somehow, someone was communicating with him before events happened. And that someone appeared to be using his own phone. Before we dive deeper, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. The second message had arrived the same night as the accident. Daniel remembered staring at the glowing screen in complete silence. His apartment had been dark except for the pale blue light of his phone. Outside, the city continued as normal. Cars moved through intersections. People walked home from work. Somewhere, televisions played in living rooms. Yet for Daniel, the world had changed forever. The message had contained only 4 words. Now you know I'm real. Those words haunted him. They followed him through every waking moment. They echoed in his thoughts during meetings, during meals, and during the long, sleepless nights that followed. Whoever was sending these messages wasn't guessing. They weren't lucky. They possessed information that should have been impossible to obtain. And over the next few days, the messages continued. At first, the predictions seemed small. A text would arrive in the morning warning about a traffic accident on a specific highway. Hours later, news reports would confirm it. Another message predicted an unexpected thunderstorm despite clear weather forecasts. The storm arrived exactly as described. Then came predictions about stock prices. Daniel didn't believe those at first. He followed the information out of curiosity more than confidence. But every prediction proved accurate. Every investment generated profit. Every warning arrived before the event occurred. Every detail matched reality with terrifying precision. Daniel began keeping a notebook. He documented every message, every prediction, and every outcome. The results were impossible to ignore. The sender was never wrong. As the days passed, fear slowly transformed into obsession. Daniel checked his phone constantly. He carried it everywhere. He slept with it beside his pillow. Every vibration caused his heart to race. Every notification sent a surge of anticipation through him. He stopped asking whether the messages were real and started asking how he could use them. If someone truly knew the future, then perhaps the future could be controlled. Perhaps fate wasn't fixed after all. Perhaps he had been given access to information no one else possessed. The idea was intoxicating. For the first time since the elevator accident, Daniel felt something other than fear. He felt powerful. He felt protected. He felt as though he had gained an advantage over the rest of the world. An advantage that nobody else even knew existed. That illusion lasted exactly 11 days. The message arrived shortly after midnight. Daniel was sitting alone in his apartment when his phone vibrated. 3 words appeared on the screen. He's watching you. Daniel stared at the message. His stomach tightened immediately. Unlike the previous predictions, This one wasn't about weather or traffic or financial markets. This message was personal. It wasn't describing a future event. It was describing something happening right now. Daniel read the words again. Then again. A cold sensation spread through his chest. He looked toward the apartment window overlooking the street below. The curtains were partially open. Beyond them stretched the city lights and distant traffic. Nothing seemed unusual. Nobody appeared to be standing outside. Nobody seemed interested in him. Yet the messages had never been wrong before. His phone vibrated again. Another message appeared. Check your security camera. For several seconds, Daniel didn't move. Then he opened the application connected to the apartment building's surveillance system. Residents had access to camera feeds covering entrances, parking areas, and portions of the surrounding street. Daniel selected the exterior camera facing the front of the building. The image loaded slowly. At first, everything appeared normal. Streetlights illuminated the sidewalk. A few parked cars lined the curb. Nothing seemed out of place. Then Daniel noticed a figure standing near the edge of the frame. A man, motionless, watching the building. Daniel leaned closer to the screen. The man wore a dark coat with the hood pulled forward, concealing most of his face. He wasn't talking to anyone. He wasn't using a phone. He wasn't pacing or smoking or checking the time. He was simply standing there, watching. And somehow Daniel knew exactly who the message was referring to. A chill ran through him. He switched to earlier footage. The man was still there. Daniel rewound another day. The man appeared again. Another day. The same figure. Another. And another. The realization hit him like a physical blow. For 2 weeks, someone had been standing outside his apartment building, watching him, waiting, and Daniel had never noticed. His hands began shaking as he scrolled through the recordings. The figure appeared every night, always alone, always silent, always watching. Hours passed before Daniel finally looked away from the screen. By then, one terrifying question dominated his thoughts. Who was he? And why was he watching Daniel Mercer? Before Daniel could decide what to do, another message appeared on his phone. Do not follow him. Daniel stared at the warning. For a moment, he considered listening. After everything that had happened, ignoring the messages seemed foolish. But curiosity can be stronger than fear. And some questions become impossible to resist. Daniel looked back at the camera feed. The stranger had started walking. For the first time in 2 weeks, he was leaving. Daniel grabbed his jacket and headed for the door. He had no idea that by ignoring that warning, he was about to uncover a secret far more terrifying than the messages themselves. A secret hidden inside an abandoned warehouse. A secret that would reveal exactly how Daniel Mercer was supposed to die. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. You won't want to miss episode 3 next Sunday.